Hello and welcome to India Business Hour. I'm Shireen Bhan. The headlines we're tracking for you this evening. Deep cuts on the Lal Street. The Sensex and the Nifty lose over 1%. Mid-caps and small caps continue to get battered. Overall market cap worth 14 lakh crore rupees wiped out in a single day.
We are nowhere near that risk. And there are enough checks and balances in our system today to compare ourselves in serious bubble territory.
Veteran banker Uday Kotak says Indian markets are nowhere near bubble territory, acknowledges that there is froth in some pockets, but is quick to add that things are not out of control. A pan-India opinion poll by News 18 shows 80% people polled are satisfied with the central government ahead of the Lok Sabha elections. A majority, 56%, say employment is the top issue for voters, followed by inflation, law and order and corruption. ITC's largest shareholder, British American Tobacco, raises nearly 17,500 crores by liquidating a 3.5% stake in the company through block deals. The ITC stock surges over 8% in trade, adding 22,000 crores to investor wealth in a single day. Prime Minister Modi lays the foundation stone to build 3 semiconductor plants worth 1.25 lakh crore rupees. The Tatas will build India's first commercial semiconductor fabrication facility in Gujarat's Dholera at a cost of 91,000 crores. Tata Motors will invest 9,000 crore rupees to set up a manufacturing plant in Tamil Nadu. This is the third major auto investment in the state over the last 2 months after VinFast and Hyundai made commitments worth over 20,000 crore rupees. We told you first that it is now official. The union government extends the electric vehicle subsidy scheme by 4 months, but incentives for two-wheelers reduced from 25,000 rupees to 10,000 rupees a vehicle. The extension is likely to cost the exchequer 500 crore rupees. Quick commerce company Zepto says its current growth rate of 100 to 150% could let it reach D-Mart's size in the next 2 years. Founder Adit Palicha adds that an IPO is likely in the next 18 to 24 months. That's a CNBC TV 18 exclusive. Delhi police cracks down on a fake medicine racket in NCR, seizes spurious drugs with a cumulative price tag of over 4 crore rupees, over 270 vials of fake drugs, including cancer medication seized. Police arrests 8 people, including employees of Delhi and Gurgaon-based hospitals. Israel's military operations in Gaza continue even as the mediator Qatar says it hopes for a truce before the 9th of April. The first maritime humanitarian aid shipment to Gaza leaves Cyprus. The EU's foreign policy chief says starvation is being used as a weapon of war in Gaza. 4 years later, US President Joe Biden and former President Donald Trump are set for a rematch in the presidential elections taking place in November this year. Both Biden and Trump have secured enough delegates in the states of Mississippi, Washington and Georgia to be eligible party nominees for the presidential race. Well, we do have a packed India Business Hour for you, but let's start with the market action. The Lal Street battered in today's trading session. The Nifty and the Sensex saw cuts of over 1%, but it was the broader markets that fell the most. The mid-cap index down over 4% with 99 of the 100 stocks ending with cuts. The small-cap index down over 5%, 797 points lower, falling with just about one stock ending in positive territory. Now, both those indices have turned negative for the year 2024. Let's talk about PSUs. They saw the sharpest fall on overvaluation concerns, and that index has actually also plummeted down by about 7%. Heavy selling led to a fall of nearly 6 lakh crore rupees in market cap on these stocks. Adani Group stocks also saw some big cuts today. The 10 group companies saw over 1 lakh crore rupees in market cap being wiped out. Nearly 200 NSE stocks hitting their 52-week lows, while 400 stocks ended at the lower circuit. So not a good day for the markets. Overall, market cap worth 14 lakh crore rupees being wiped out in a single day. Vivek is standing by now to decode the broader market fall. Vivek, what has spooked the markets today?
So before we go to individual stocks, let's give some perspective as to what exactly has happened as far as the broader end of the market and the kind of sell-off that we've witnessed over there. So we looked at 3 key indices. The first one is the mid-cap 100 index, the small-cap 100, and the NSE 500 index. These 3 indices, are a very good gauge of what exactly is the sentiment when it comes to the broader end of the markets. So first, have a look at the mid-cap index. Today, down for the third straight session. Of course, majority of the selling pressure came today. Just the last 3 trading session, it's lost over 2,700 points, a significant selling pressure. And today, the mid-cap index turned negative for 2024. Now coming to the small-cap index, again, down for the third straight session. over 1,300 points lost in just the last 3 trading sessions. And in fact, if you're talking about this particular year, the small cap index is now down over 5%. Some significant selling pressure coming in over there. At one point during today's trading session, the small cap index actually had an advanced decline ratio of 1:99. So only one stock and the broader end of the market was actually trading in the green. Now coming to the NSE 500 index, down for the third straight session, down 800 points in just the last 3 trading sessions. And when you're talking about the advanced decline ratio, at around 3 p.m., the advanced decline ratio was somewhere in the range of 13:487. Again, gives you a sense of the kind of sell-off that we witnessed. So where did the pain lie? Now let's have a look at some of the key indices today that saw significant selling pressure. The first one, of course, was the BSE Utility Index. So utility stocks across the spectrum saw significant selling pressure, down 9% in the last 3 trading sessions, and the entire list of stocks, look at names like SJVN, NHPC, CSC, NTPC, Torrent, all of these stocks today saw significant selling pressure. The Nifty Realty Index, we highlighted this yesterday as well, as to, there's a certain amount of pain and a lot of selling pressure, but today it got exaggerated. This particular index is down 10% in the last 5 sessions, and all of the names, look at Soba, Govt Properties, all of them saw significant selling pressure. Now coming to the Metal Index. The Metal Index down for 5 straight sessions, down over 11% in the last 5 sessions, and again, all of the stocks, especially the PSU metal names, they were the ones that witnessed or bore the brunt of most of the selling pressure. And a lot of stocks in the 52-week low list today, surprising because we've seen quite a lot of upside as far as the broader end of the markets. But today, both large caps as well as mid cap stocks today hit the 52-week low. Some key names like VIP Industries, VRL Logistics, Z Entertainment, Sumitomo, all of these stocks had 52-week lows in today's trading session.
Many thanks, Vivek, for joining us. So pain being seen there across the board as far as the markets go. Now, veteran banker Uday Kotak says that the Indian markets are nowhere near bubble territory. Also acknowledged that there is froth in some pockets, but is quick to add that things are not out of control. Let's take a look.
That I believe at this stage, we are nowhere near that risk. And there are enough checks and balances in our system today to compare ourselves in serious bubble territory. There may be early froth, as if I can use the phrase from what you said a few days ago, but I would say that it is still froth, a little bubbly, but not out of control.
Little bubbly but not out of control. That's Uday Kotak on the markets. ITC's largest shareholder, British American Tobacco, has raised nearly 17,500 crores by liquidating a 3.5% stake in the company through block deals. The news helped ITC's stock surge over 5%, adding 22,000 crores to investor wealth in a single day. BAT now holds nearly over 25% stake in ITC after the stake sale. Now, BAT joins the list of foreign investors cashing in on high valuations in India. Earlier this year, global parents of Whirlpool and Timken also pared their stake in their Indian arms. Nigel joins us with more on this trend and why we are seeing parents pare down stakes in their Indian subsidiaries. Nigel.
Well, that's right. British American Tobacco, they sold stake in ITC this morning and they've raised close to $2.1 billion. And this is the third instance of a foreign holder selling stake after the promoters of Timken as well as Whirlpool, they sold their stake earlier. But if the Indian markets are so well placed, then why are these foreign holders selling their stakes? Well, a couple of reasons. Renowned investor Sunil Singhania, he explains it perfectly in a tweet that he put out. He points out that BAT is trading at valuations which are far lower than ITC, in which it holds stake. While Whirlpool CEO Mark Bitzer, he defined it as an asset arbitrage, as the parent is trading at mid-single digit PE, but the Indian listed subsidiary is trading at around 40 to 50 times its earnings. Now, all the three entities, they are cashing in the Indian market, but they're looking at bettering their capital allocation at the global listed firm level. Timken as well as BAT, they've already announced buybacks, while BAT and Whirlpool, they have said that they're looking to deleverage their books and looking at some debt reduction as well.
Interesting trend, Nigel. Many thanks for joining us. Prime Minister Modi laid the foundation stone with 3 semicon facilities worth 1.25 lakh crore rupees today. The event took place in Dholera in Gujarat, where the Prime Minister joined virtually. The biggest among the approved facilities is the 91,000 crore rupee fab plant, which will be built by the Tatas. This will be India's first commercial semiconductor fabrication facility. The Tatas will also build a semiconductor assembly and test facility in Assam. Apart from the Tatas, CG Power will build an assembly and test facility in Gujarat. Ashma joins us now from Dholera. where the groundbreaking ceremony took place, with his report.
Well, we're coming to you from the industrial hub of Dholera. It's about 150 odd kilometers outside of Ahmedabad, Gujarat. This was the very location where the Prime Minister, flanked by Ashwini Vaishnav, by Gujarat CM, as well as by N. Chandrasekaran, the Tata Sons chairman, laid the foundation for 3 semiconductor units in India. This in Dholera is the site for the largest of them. This will be India's very first fabrication facility, semiconductor fabrication facility. It will invite an investment of about 91,000 crores, will generate about 55,000 direct and indirect jobs. This, of course, is the first. The second, of course, is the TSAT, that again, another Tata facility in Assam. This is a packaging unit. We'll see investment of about 27,000 crore rupees. The third is CG Power headed unit, which is in Sanand. Again, in Gujarat, we'll see investments of about 7,600 crore rupees. This will be an OSAT facility. A couple of aspects to bear in mind. What are the takeaways? Accelerated timelines. The Micron facility the foundation was laid in 100 days of approval. Here, the cabinet had granted approval on 29th, and 15 days later, foundation has been laid today. So accelerated timelines. Also, we spoke to N. Chandrasekaran. He said that in terms of accelerated timelines, normally for a fabrication facility to come online takes about 3 to 4 years. They're working with a timeline of 18 to 20 months, looking to commission the first chip out of this facility by December of 2026. Another key aspect is that the chips made in India will be exported as well, and also for domestic consumption. And finally, the government, of course, is hoping that this translates into greater interest by bellwethers of the industry, of the semicon industry, for investing in here in semiconductor units in India.
आने वाले समय में हम सेमीकंडक्टर सेक्टर से जुड़े प्रोडक्ट्स का कॉमर्शियल प्रोडक्शन करेंगे. वो दिन दूर नहीं जब भारत इसमें भी एक ग्लोबल पावर बनेगा.
At least we are looking at 50,000 jobs here, and at least 20 to 25,000 jobs in Assam. We are also trying to see how we can use AI so that it becomes a very, very advanced fab here, and also the assembly unit in Assam.
N. Chandrasekaran there. Automobile major Tata Motors signing an MOU with the Tamil Nadu government to set up a car manufacturing plant at an investment of 9,000 crore rupees. Tamil Nadu Industry Minister TRB Raja says the investment could result in creating 5,000 jobs. This is the third auto investment that the state has attracted in the last 2 months. Vietnam-based VinFast will set up an integrated unit at $2 billion, while Hyundai has also announced an additional investment of 6,200 crore rupees. Well, from Tamil Nadu, let's move to a CNBC TV 18 news break that is now confirmed. We told you first, it is now official. The government has extended the EV incentives for 4 months beyond July. The Heavy Industry Ministry has launched a 500 crore rupee incentive scheme for electric two-wheelers, three-wheelers and e-rickshaws. However, incentives for electric two-wheelers have been reduced from 25,000 rupees to 10,000 rupees for the April to July period. The Union Cabinet's nod is still awaited on the new scheme.
यह 4 महीने की स्कीम है जो हमारा इलेक्ट्रिक मोबिलिटी का अभियान चल रहा है माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी के मार्गदर्शन में, और बड़े पैमाने पर देश को इसका लाभ मिला है. और आज हम तकरीबन 13-14 लाख से भी ज़्यादा वाहन आज भारत की सड़कों पर इलेक्ट्रिक वाहन के रूप में चल रहे हैं, तो उसमें निरंतरता बनी रहे.
Well, that is the Heavy Industries Minister. On to a CNBC TV 18 exclusive. Zepto CEO Adit Palicha is confident that the quick commerce company can reach D-Mart size in the next 2 years. Speaking to me earlier today, Palicha said that its current annual growth rate of 100 to 150% will help it achieve this target. He also added that an IPO is likely over the next 18 to 24 months if all goes as per plan. That's an exclusive. Listen in.
We're only 5x away from D-Mart's scale, which is a $30 billion company. And we're growing 2 to 3x every year. And D-Mart is growing 15-ish% year on year, adjusted for goods inflation. So, we could be a D-Mart scale company in the next 2-3 years. And that's an opportunity we want to focus on. 18 to 24 months from now, we're building out a lot of the infrastructure we need to go public. So 18 to 24 months, hopefully.
That's Adit Palicha of Zepto. Delhi Police's crime branch has busted a massive racket involving the manufacturing and selling of counterfeit, life-saving cancer chemotherapy drugs. 8 people have been arrested in connection with this operation. Those arrested include 2 employees who worked at a renowned cancer hospital in the national capital. This is just disturbing news on so many levels. There has to be a crackdown on spurious and counterfeit drugs. This causes lives to be lost. No gifts of any kind to healthcare professionals or their family, no vacations, and a strict cap on free drug samples. These are some of the key restrictions laid down in the new marketing code for pharma companies. Timsy takes us through the highlights. Timsy, what are the key features of the rules that have been notified?
Well, this is a big step when it comes to legally curbing the unethical marketing of drugs and stopping medical representatives from using inducement to push healthcare professionals to prescribe a certain drug or therapy. First, let's look at who these practices apply to. And it's not just pharma companies. Any agent, wholesaler or distributor who deals in pharmaceutical products and even retailers come under the ambit of these rules. Secondly, the rules encompasses not just doctors but all healthcare practitioners and their family members, including extended family. So here are some of the key clauses. 1. No gifts of any kind. Naturally, that includes cash. 2. No travel facilities to be provided whether inside or outside the country. This includes via rail, air, ship, cruise tickets and even vacations. Even such travel arrangements to attend conferences, seminars, workshops, etc. are not permitted unless, of course, the person is a speaker at these events. 3. The restrictions apply to any hospitality service like hotel stay, cuisine, resort accommodation, etc. Again, the exception here is if the person is a speaker at an event for which these facilities are being arranged. The rules also require all pharmaceutical associations to establish an ethics committee comprising 3 to 5 members. This committee will oversee marketing practices and disclose details of all complaints, including the name of the company against which complaints are being investigated and what steps have been taken to address grievances. This committee is to be headed by the Chief Executive Officer of the association. The code also places accountability on the pharma companies, stating with the CEO who will be ultimately responsible for adherence of the code. The CEO also has to submit a self-declaration to the association within 2 months of the end of every financial year. The company is also deemed to be responsible for any act done by the pharmaceutical representative employed by it. Another crucial part of the code relates to free samples. Here, free drugs samples cannot be supplied to any person who is not qualified to prescribe such a product. Further, every company has to maintain details including the name of the product, the doctor to whom a sample has been given, the quantity of the sample, potency and the monetary value of the samples. It also specifies that the monetary value of the free sample cannot exceed 2% of the domestic sales of the company every year. Back to you.
All right, Timsy, many thanks for joining us. Up next on India Business Hour, Pan-India opinion poll by News 18 shows 80% people polled are satisfied with the central government ahead of the Lok Sabha elections. A majority, 56%, say employment is the top issue for voters, followed by inflation, law and order and corruption. That and more when we return. You can catch all of CNBC TV 18's news and updates on Facebook, X, Threads, Instagram and JioCinema. A government-appointed panel has called for preemptive regulations on big tech companies to curb their dominant behavior. The committee, which was appointed by Corporate Affairs Ministry last year, has warned that addressing anti-competitive practices after they occur could allow companies to evade scrutiny. The committee has also proposed monetary penalties of up to 10% of the global turnover for companies identified as systemically significant digital enterprises. Shivani standing by with more. Take us through the key recommendations from the panel, Shivani.
Well, the much-awaited report by the Committee on Digital Competition Law, which is the CDCL, has finally been submitted to the Finance Minister. The committee, which was formulated last year under the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, has suggested to form a separate digital competition law with ex-ante regulatory strategy specifically tailored for large digital enterprises. Remember, ex-ante regulations are rules or laws established beforehand to prevent potential issues or problems from arising, rather than addressing them after they occur. So the proposed ex-ante regulation is aimed at ensuring proactive monitoring of these big tech enterprises, empowering the Competition Commission of India to intervene preemptively. Let's first understand why this law is necessary. So the report highlights widespread concerns regarding the dominant behavior of large digital services providers, which leverage data network, assets and economies of scale. It emphasizes the necessity of a new ex-ante regulation to level the playing field for smaller players in the digital markets. This call for regulation arises amid ongoing conflicts between big tech firms like Google and smaller Indian companies. Currently, the Competition Commission of India operates on an ex-post framework, meaning actions are taken after the anti-competitive practice occurs. However, the report suggests that this approach may not be suitable for the digital markets due to its time-consuming nature. The committee warns that relying on ex-post demonstration of dominance could allow large digital enterprises to evade timely scrutiny. Now, the committee suggests that designating systematically significant digital enterprises, also called the SSDEs, based on specific criteria, ensuring only major tech companies in core digital services face these regulations. It also proposes that if multiple companies in a group offer digital services, they should all be considered as ADEs. This could happen in two ways. Now, either the main company is labeled as the SSDE and others as associate digital enterprises, or a different company directly involved becomes the SSDE with its parent or other group entities becoming the ADEs. Now, the report says that the CCI should have the flexibility to decide which company gets what designation. To enforce the compliance with these ex-ante obligations, the committee proposes monetary penalty of up to 10% of the global turnover of SSDEs, along with additional penalties for incorrect reporting and vicarious liability of key managerial persons. Furthermore, if the SSDE is a part of a group of companies, the committee suggests that the maximum penalty should be based on the total global turnover of the entire group. The committee also recommends that the exact amount of penalty should be decided by the CCI.
Shivani, many thanks for joining us. The State Bank of India submitted a compliance report to the Supreme Court in the electoral bonds case. It's disclosed that a total of 22,217 electoral bonds were purchased by political parties between April 1, 2019 and February 15th this year. Out of this, 22,030 were redeemed. Chief Election Commissioner Rajiv Kumar says all details will be published before 5 p.m. on Friday. Take a look.
हमारा बिल्कुल कोर्ट में ये बहुत स्ट्रॉन्ग हो रहा था कि पारदर्शिता के पक्ष में है चुनाव आयोग हर तरीके से. हमारे तीन ही पिलर हैं. नंबर 1, डिस्क्लोजर, डिस्क्लोजर, डिस्क्लोजर. एनीथिंग वी डू इन द कमीशन and anything our district magistrate down the line in the election process do is based on two pillars. Disclosure, disclosure, disclose everything to the public, to the voter. Voter have right to know everything what we are doing, how we are doing. Commission had always been in favor of transparency, and that was our stand in the electoral bond case also. Uchtam Nyayalaya has ordered the SBI to give it to 12th. They have given it to us yesterday in time. I'll go back, look at the data, and would definitely disclose it in time.
Well, that is the Chief Election Commissioner saying that the Election Commission will publish the electoral bond data by 5 p.m. on Friday, as per the Supreme Court order. The BJPs released its second list ahead of the Lok Sabha elections, announcing the names for 72 constituencies. Union Road Minister Nitin Gadkari is contesting from Nagpur. Commerce Minister Piyush Goyal is making his Lok Sabha debut. He will contest from Mumbai North. INB Minister Anurag Thakur will be the BJP candidate from Hamirpur again. Former Uttarakhand Chief Minister Trivendra Singh Rawat will contest from Haridwar. Former Haryana Chief Minister Manohar Lal Khattar is the BJP candidate from Karnal. 15 candidates out of the 72 in the second list are women. The BJP has so far announced names for 267 seats. And before we wrap, News 18 has conducted a pan-India opinion poll to gauge the mood of the nation ahead of the Lok Sabha elections. More than 1 lakh people polled across 95% of the Lok Sabha constituencies. Here are the key findings. 80% of those polled are either somewhat satisfied or very satisfied with the union government's performance. 56% of those polled said that jobs is the key issue ahead of the elections, followed by inflation, law and order and corruption. Well, more details from the survey with a panel of guests coming up right after this short break.